Someone in the comments tell me what this bubble was meant to say. Please.
We are here for Triple S Class Revival Hunter.
I don't know what the fuck that intro was, but hey, here we are. As I just said. Triple S Class Revival Hunter. Picking up where I left off last time. And then I think next week we'll be back onto our RV for those of you that are curious. Yeah, probably do 2-3 chapters today. See how things are. Also, this is your daily reminder. Exercise. I'll thank yourself for it in the future. 112 people. My lord, the deaths of 112 is far too excessive. You've already become so worn out in just a few days that you're hardly recognizable. When did you get so devout? If you disappear, so will I. I will no longer be able to stay in my small paradise. My life, my memory, my meaning, it will all disappear. Everything hinges on you, my lord. Because I care about my own self, I also care about you, my lord. I'm glad you're honest. Has life been good lately? Excuse me? After I obtained exclusive rights to the 20th floor, I let Preda be free at the village. You're now living in Esther's village, and the people you treated with more value than your own life are back. So, how are things? My plan is to let her stay at the village. Except for in situations like these, where I need her. Well, sir. Anything in particular going on? What do you mean by anything in particular? Oh! People called hunters barged in once. They said that the secret to how the King of Death's Son became so strong, and the treasure hidden by the 5 great guilds had to be there. But the witch you brought with you stopped them with her own hunters, so it didn't result in much. Gah, reading is hard. As expected of the Black Dragon Guild, the services are immaculate. And the lords of the nearby kingdoms have been staying away, because they've been having a hard time dealing with the nomads that they had originally recruited to attack us. It seems like things in the other world are progressing naturally. Not to mention, the Empire and the Temple have both declared my village as a holy sanctuary, and the lizard men and elves have brought us gifts. But I've lost my abilities. The sick who have heard the rumors, as well as pilgrims who seek miracles after the declaration of the sanctuary, continue to arrive. What should I do? Flashback. I've thought of something, so don't worry. He's going to use her potions to basically allow Preta to keep her position within the world she's from. That's quite cute. That's a nice tie-in. That plot thread ties nicely. That's quite... I like that. I like that. My plan was to set up a new pharmacy for the apothecary on the 20th floor after this expedition. Since she said she's only going to receive new customers through me, I need to get things set up properly for her. And she won't be able to handle all the work by herself, so she'll need employees. Having Preda be her assistant doesn't sound like a bad idea. And I could have her take in hunters hoping to become pharmacists as her students. That should naturally grow the size of her pharmacy. It won't take long for it to become a branch of the Alchemy Castle, and later on become the Alchemy Castle's headquarters. Anything other than that? Other than that... Oh, there's Dejena. Dejena is a child in my village, and it seems like she likes a thing called Tukbaki that hunters brought her. I definitely pronounced that wrong. Pronounced like an American, I think. Then there's Garchev. He's an old man that looks after the orchard. He shared fruit with the Black Dragon hunters that stand guard in the village, and in return, the Black Dragon... That's the current situation. So, you're telling me things are well? Yes, sir. They are. Yeah, things should become good for the people of the other world. Now, go gather the corpses. As you command, sir. Chapter 66. She might be a fallen constellation, but she was once someone that destroyed a world as the demon king of the autumn rain. I shall first search for towns and cities with a local government agency. She knew well how to collect death. For the government administrators' work, there should be maps. They'll likely be flimsy ones, but they should be usable by cross-referencing them with each other. By piecing together the maps, we will be able to find remote villages and fishing villages. Remote farming and fishing, not remote villages and... Ugh. I shall only bring back the bodies of children who woke up to see their mothers' cadavers, dying like a withered... Didn't breathe there, that was stupid. Dying like a wilting wild plant from crying beside their mother. The bodies of people who cursed the deceased mothers for not fulfilling their parents' responsibility as a parent. People who hid inside the well to escape the plague, but never managed to climb out. And criminals who never even got a chance to escape, imprisoned in their cells. We've chosen 112 starvation. I brought them, my lord. Good. Now let them go. Come at me. You have died, reenacting the trauma of your killer. By high on a boat, I should at least not be causing trouble for the world. Well, that was wrong. I was born on the river and worked on the river my whole life. So dying on the river will be bliss. It's peaceful. Reenacting the trauma of your killer. Castellan! The grain storages are bottoming out. Within half a month, there won't be even a single grain of rice in them. The fishermen are not bringing in enough. What should we do? Reduce the food given to the elderly and children by a third. Reduce the food given to the young adults by half. The people will respond with harsh criticism. I shall be the first to starve. If I, the leader, eat nothing, the critics will lose ground. Regardless, this place won't be lasting much longer either. Starving a few days won't change anything. Reenacting the trauma of your killer. We're going to starve together at this rate. The Castellan said that children shouldn't eat. He's basically telling us to die. Then, what should we do? If we're going to die, might as well die eating. That'll at least help us not end up a sickly looking Jiangxi. There's a cooking method I learned from the beggars sect. It's a thing called soil cookie. You mean a snack made from dirt? Now listen to me, kids. The kids that know how to swim should keep catching fish. Don't share them with the adults. Let's keep this to ourselves. As for the remaining kids, go dig up soft earth by the river. What are you planning to undoing? Let me show you. Reenacting the trauma of your killer. There we go. What's this? All you did was dry up dirt in the sun? How is this a cookie? Shut it! This is a secret cooking method passed down by the beggar sect. Just you watch. Putting salt on them. Now it's done. Try one. But be careful when eating it. Reenacting the trauma of your killer. It's not delicious if you eat it in one bite. Savor it, not it slowly. This is surprisingly edible. I like the salty flavor. Don't talk too much. The flavor will all disappear. You did nibble at it while licking it. Oh! Look over there! It's a dead body. He looks like he starved while on the water. I feel bad for him. Do you think he's a fisherman? Huh? Ah! Reacting to the trauma of your killer. They tried to survive. They persisted through hunger because they wanted to live. With fingers that dug out the mud from the river. Hands that flattened out the mud on rocks to dry in the sun. Fingertips that tightly held on to the dried mud cookies. It was all an act of starvation. Trauma reenactment complete. The target's ego has remained intact. Penalty finalized. I thought I'd end up learning how to boil bark or something. But reality's even harsher than I imagined. It's raining quite heavy all of a sudden. You won't be able to hear it, but... that was quite sudden. And now it's all but stopped. What the fuck? So, when you're approaching the end of the world, tree bark is too good to become trauma. Turns out, when cornered, people even eat dirt. It's hard. With bare hands. Ugh. You're actually eating the dirt. Thank you for the food. It's not bad. It's really disgusting. People's lives originate from the ground. So how come they can't eat the earth? Because they, unless you believe in folklore, don't really come from the ground. Why is the scent and flavor of earth so appalling? Emotions that can't be conveyed through words can be expressed using hands. Martial arts was just an act of swinging with what little one had left within their grasp. Let's go back. Let's go back and show the heavenly demon my sword. The sword of those that died nameless. I tossed a Jiangxi warrior down there. Despite that, defeat that Jiangxi if you can do that. If you can do that, I shall accept you as my disciple. However, you must fight while experiencing hunger. Because I don't know the martial way. I also don't know jack shit about stuff like the principles of yin and yang and the 5 elements. Whilst you fight the Jiangxi soldier, your heart must be filled with nothing but hunger and the pain it causes. You are banned from feeling any other thoughts or emotions. Can you do that? But if my martial arts has a principle, it's the screams of these people. If the edge of my sword is filled with heaven's will, that is the struggle of the humans abandoned by the heavens. The grudge and resentment are what make it demonic. The scent and flavor of dirt in my mouth, the sensation of dirt on my hands. And because that grudge and resentment is used to look up at the sky, is it demonic and heavenly? No, it is, not is it. Demonic heavenly god art. The first form. Sword of starving death. Heavenly demon. What death should I present next? Cold. Pretty cold. Pretty damn cold, I can't lie. Bro did flex on her a little bit there. Cannot lie, cannot lie. Pretty baller, pretty baller. Right, let's roll. Do another one. Jump 67. There are originally 9 swords in the Infernal Heavens demonic art. The Sword of Salvation, the sword that you showed, is just the first form. The next form is the Sword of Dehydration. So it's death from thirst? That's right, child of the outside world. You demonstrate the Sword of Starvation good enough. So if you devote yourself to training, you will get good... Wait a moment. What did you just say? What did you say just now? Good enough? Huh, that's weird. I thought I did pretty well, but it was barely good enough for the Heavenly Demon. I'm sorry. Suddenly my self-esteem disappeared. I'm thinking, and I'm losing my confidence. I think I'm losing my nerve. You brat. Fine, I'll admit it. You demonstrated the Sword of Starvation skillfully. Don't be impudent to go around saying that the Infernal Heavens demonic arts isn't enough. Oh, isn't much. Pardon. What did you say? I did it skillfully. Are you going to harass the great me with wordplay? It seems like you will only be satisfied if I bow my head to you. You're truly a child who doesn't know when to stop. Okay, she nibbled. Why don't you be the teacher? I will be your disciple. Does that mean you acknowledge me as a disciple? Right? Not an outsider, but an inside disciple of the sect. The real, authentic, best disciple. Refrain from making any other sounds. I'll be teaching you from now on, so you must focus. Just as I thought. The heavenly demon just forced herself to ignore my words. Nevertheless, she's really not saying that she would accept me as a disciple. For most martial arts, the connection between a teacher and student is that heavy. Such a connection can sometimes turn into a terrifying connection. Therefore, the heavenly demon did not declare me as her disciple. Listen up. Could a child like me, who is not even from the central plains of the Murim world, be allowed into her heart? Since you have learned the sword of starvation to that level, you are at least entitled to listen and steal the teachings of the sect. But... character window? I wonder if I could hope. Favorite genre, martial _arts. Hated genres, classical, mythology, history. Disliking classical and history while liking martial arts is an interesting contradiction. Fairy tales. Favorite characters, commoners, rivals. Hated characters, oppressor, deceiver, playboy, woman. Favorite plot, all-out match. Hated, running away, oblivion, meaningless death. A shame, all three of those happened not directly to her. Two of those happened. One of those happens indirectly to her. Is he a disciple? I need to make up my mind. No, this is a bad idea. I should be content by facing off with Namgung Un. It's too much to have a disciple now at the end of my life. It's an ugly desire. That's right. Please consider it. Please be more shaken. Will the Murim Lord and her continue the war of good and evil without hope? Or we should take a disciple and take measures to continue the doctrine of the demonic sect to the next generation. In the end, which way will she escape this meaningless death? Please don't let go of your life like this. Please live. Even if the world perishes and you are left alone in the Murim world, I still want you to live. I want to be your reason to live a little longer. Useless and vain words. I'm sure that it was for the same reason that the heavenly demon didn't declare me as her disciple. The lightness of words is bound to be weighed down by the heaviness of one's actions. That way, it won't fly away like a whim. It's not time to decide yet. We didn't try hard enough to say the words that we wanted to say. I still couldn't decide. I still couldn't make her decide. Child of the outside world, you don't look focused. Are you listening to me? Of course I'm focused. What do you mean? Very well. Seeing that you're overflowing with confidence, can you take the next test right away? Don't follow me. My feet are busy. There are no footprints left. I want to fight her. Pardon? Did you get salt in your ear? I said, I want to spar with her. Oh, damn it. Damn. Fuck. Know this, zombie. In the Murim world, where I was born, the demonic sect was extremely weak. The only use for those demonic henchmen was to hit them. There was a guy who called himself the Heavenly Demon, but I planted his asshole in the ground and changed his nameplate to the Earthly Demon. Fuck! I
I challenged and changed the names of hundreds of so-called strong warriors. I'm really jealous of that Murim Lord bastard who was born here. If it were me, we'd have a fight with our lives on the line. We'd say, this will be your death or mine, and fight. After that, we'd climb up a snowy peak and have a bowl of rice wine, but then one of you isn't dead. For you to be able to do that together. That's the perfect meaning that all warriors search for! Oh, if only I were a ghost!
That's it.
Huh?
Say the apothecary makes a cure for the infection. Say that I'm acknowledged as an official disciple of the heavenly demon. Someone in the comments tell me what this bubble was meant to say. Please. I'm probably going to put this at the start of the video and it's going to cut to the actual beginning. Just so I can... what the fuck is meant to be said here? Why is it just an empty-ass bubble? Great job. Anyhow. But you just gave me the cherry on top. Nice play. Good job, Sword Emperor. What's wrong?
Every time you put on that expression, it's like an ill omen for me.
There was an unpaid debt between us.
Debt?
Let's bet how many times I'll die while climbing up to the 19th floor. Our Sword Emperor bet that I would die more than 100 times. I bet that I'd die less than 99 times. Right? If I recall correctly, then regarding this bet, the conclusion ended with 97 deaths. If my calculations aren't off, 97 is less than 99. Right? Sword Emperor, please listen to this one request. In our sect, there is a group of elite members called the Bloody Ghosts. This is the best combat unit made by collecting only the greatest assassins. There are people who exist only to fulfill my orders. The last time it was a promising master, and this time it's someone from an actual combat unit. The difficulty level keeps jumping higher. Do not worry, I made sure to bring a child that would suit your level. She might have gone for the perfect opponent for me. Might have gone to look for the perfect opponent for me. She must have searched the snowfield, going through hundreds of zombies, one by one. What you have to demonstrate is not different from this morning. Fight this Jiangxi. It was a thoughtful consideration. With only thirst in my heart, only pain of thirst should be in that place. It was a heartfelt gesture. That's right. No emotions or thoughts other than thirst are allowed in your psyche. Very well. You have died. It's ridiculously strong, damn it! Alchemist, Medicine King. The research for the zombie virus treatment should proceed like this. Good heavens! It's just like my research. Shall I say? It's like my research was organized and arranged like a bouquet commissioned by an aristocrat.
What's this? Are you also from Silicon Valley? This is exactly the way I'd arrange things.
Yeah, because you did arrange them like that. 100 Ghost Reincarnation! Scatter and gather thirsty corpses. Yes, my lord. As you command. Do the 100 ghosts, does Predator also retain her memories from cycles? And there's one more thing I need you to do. There'll be Jiangxi that use martial arts in the vicinity. Find them. The demonic cult members in their black uniforms, and the chivalrous fighters in their white uniforms. Whether it's 100 or 300 Li away. Li? Huh? You must find every one of them. One Li is 500 miles, or meters, no, it's meters. What the fuck? What are you trying to save those lives for, my lord? It's a dying world. There are two people who are still at war. They want the right conclusion to their fight and the world. Unfortunately, however I look at it, it seems just like a sad game of pretending. Since they want to see a good conclusion, I'll prepare a real war for them. I will prepare for a proper war between the good and evil. How long have we been recording for? 25 minutes? We'll do one more, and then this will be the last chapter for the video. And then we will end it with a 3-chapter reaction this week. And then next week, as I said earlier, twill be a little bit of the El Omnisciente Reader's viewpoint, and you can, you know, give me your thoughts and shit in the comments. And also, seriously though, do tell me what that bubble was supposed to say, the empty one, because I unless it was meant to be empty, but I don't know if it was. If it was meant to be empty, that's fine, but if it wasn't, then I need to know what it said. Please and thank you. When I tried to learn the Sword of Starvation, the Heavenly Demon was disappointed. What? You mean that's as long as you've starved for? It was only 3 days? She didn't notice my efforts. The Heavenly Demon tested me in order to make me give up on my own accord. Never mind. It was my fault. Because there was nothing that she expected from this world anymore. That's what happened when I was learning hunger. However, when I started to learn thirst, she looked so happy. Aw. Her attitude completely changed. Chapter 68. Your sword is too simple. I cannot find a single use of it. I cannot find a skillful use of it in your sword. There's no application. It's honest and upright, but it's just as vulnerable. It's like your sword is fighting against humans. Not fighting against humans, but against the world. It's not a sword of our school, but a sword of the religious sect. It's rather unexpected. But the screams engraved in your sword arts are getting clearer gradually. Your skills are exquisite. I've brought the ones who died from thirst. I shall teach you the core of our Simgyal? Simgyal. It's a trade secret, the key to our method. Think of the time when you learned the Sword of Starvation. What did you think of when you swung your sword? I thought of starvation. Of course you did. But it's not just that. You may not have realized it, but you've already penetrated the essence of the demonic arts. Now, this is an apple. Like the apple you eat? Are you thinking about it? How does the apple feel? Pardon? It's alright if you don't know. Then say that you don't know. Yes, I have no idea at all. You're very honest. Good. Now, think of hunger. Yes, I've recalled it. How does hunger feel? It feels dry. What is the scent of hunger? It smells of the soil. Oh, what kind of soil is it? There are many types of soil. What is the soil of hunger? It is mud. You can't just scoop up any old mud. It has to be mud with a little gravel and no sand. I see. How does hunger taste? Child, I asked what the taste of hunger was. Why haven't you answered right away? Because it's sad. The kids dry the mud cookies in the sun. While they're drying it up below the sun, there's nothing to do. So the kids pace around by the mud. So, they're the children waiting for the sunlight. Hunger is children waiting for the sun. Child, that is your poem. When I asked you to describe the touch of the apple, you said that you didn't know. But what about when I asked you about hunger? You touched the mud, you smelled it, you chewed it and ate it. You have seen the flowing river and you have overheard the sounds of the river. An apple has form, but there is no hunger. An apple can be tasted, but it is void of hunger. Even so, you talked well about hunger. Hunger for you is mud, sunlight, river water, and children. Child, that right there is your talent. The reason you don't know the texture of an apple is simple. Because it did not stimulate your memory. If you've ever eaten an apple, you will know too. Apples have a soft skin. It's shiny, but also a little bumpy. I like to eat apples without peeling the skin. But it would be different for a child with a cold. I would have cut it in half. Carve it out with a spoon and feed it to the sick child one by one. Have you ever eaten scraped apple when you were a child? Yes. What is the texture of the scraped apple? It's a little grainy. The yellow juices is filling up my mouth. Correct. But is that all? If you scrape the peel as well, then the remaining apple peel will become wrinkled. Ridiculously. The hand of the mother who scraped the apple for you will also become yellowed due to the apple's juice. But then, say child, what among these feelings is the feeling of the apple? Is an apple as a whole, or an apple cut in half? Is it the scraped juice of a spoon, or the mother's hand? Which one is your apple? I saw a mother who only ate the peel after giving all the flesh of the apple to her child. To me, an apple is the leftover peels for the mother. It is a child with a cold. It is the mother's heart that has been sharpened one spoonful at a time. And I also think of those young children whose mothers never carved an apple for them. I think of a mother who could not buy apples. I think of a mother who would not buy one even though she has the means to do so. I think of a child who has no one to care for him, even though he is lying on his back. I think of a child who died because he could not be taken care of. There is nowhere in this world that has not been touched by human memories. Thus, there is no place in this world without resentment. There is no form of hunger. There is no taste nor scent. Wrong! Hunger is mud, a river, and a child. The same goes for thirst. Sense the thirst. Fill yourself with its taste. Sense its scent. Demonic arts are memories. Memory is also a sense. This is the key to our sect's methods. The folks who have suffered unfair things but cannot speak out, unable to express themselves, the resentment eventually solidifies into bitterness. However, the warriors of our demonic cult are different. We swing our swords. If you just live, taking what you're given, how can you call that life? That is death. Can you call a sword that swings you as you swing at a sword? It is a beast. Do you want to die? Do you want to become a beast? No. I am a living human. If so, become thirsty. Become as thirsty as you become when you're hungry. I gathered 112 people who died of thirst. Among them, there was a child who ate mud cookies. I ate a bit of grey and dirt in my mouth. Infernal heavens, demonic art. First form. Sword of starvation. You have found the mud of hunger. Now you will have to find something of thirst. For you, hunger was the children waiting for sun. What is thirst for you? I gathered 48 people who died of thirst. Among them was an old woman who kept on drinking the seawater. My innards were pickled in seawater. Infernal heavens, demonic art. Second form. Sword of thirst. Is the thirst the only pain the sea brings about? There is also the pain of drowning in the seawater. Child, what does water mean to you? I gathered 37 people who died from drowning. That's quite intimate. Among them, there was a father who gave his child his last breath. As I sank into the water, I shared my breath with my mouth. Infernal heavens, demonic art, third form, sword of the drowned. Hunger is the dirt. Thirst is a wave. For you, choking is a father's last breath. The land, the sea, and the air are already yours. What is winter for you? I gathered 96 people who died of the cold. Amongst them, there was a newborn child who was stuck to the body of an already dead mother up until the end. I held on to the body tightly until I froze. Infernal heavens, demonic art. Fourth form. Sword of freezing. Child, your sword. Really, it's ever changing. Martial arts come of the different tendencies in one's life. These habits are that which cannot be fixed. The Infernal Heavens demonic art is especially like that. But you, child, are rich in different tendencies. It's difficult for humans to know all the pain in the world, and even if they knew it, enduring all the pain to their limits is very hard. As I watch you learn the Infernal Heavens demonic art, it's as if something's coming. I wonder, do we think he's going to start training his own disciple? But hey, that was really good. I really like that. Doctor's going through a lot. It really shows the strength of his character, the amount that he's like putting up with for this. Just to bring about a better conclusion when there's probably is a simpler way of doing it than this. Yeah, Gonja's a really good character. We love Gonja. He's goated. But hey, we'll leave that there. Leave a like, comment, sub, notification bell, share the video around. Trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so if you could help me get that would be greatly appreciated. And with that out of the way, I've been Aussie, you've been you, and hope you have time for another video at the tar. Bye now.